Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton of the Ambient Rushton podcast and markrushton.com. And this is podcast number 198. It's been a while. And this is going to be a talkie podcast. I think all the podcasts from now on are going to be talkie. There's no reason for me to do a music podcast. So, yeah, I haven't put one out since December 4 of 2024. I think that was the voicemail podcast. It was a little weird, but, whatever. Try different things, just for fun. So anyway, this podcast, it's Monday, July 14th. In 5 days, on July 19th, I'm going to be playing my first public live gig in about 15 years at XBK Annex. It's near 24th and University in Des Moines, Iowa. It's a little side venue next to XBK. XBK Annex is in the old firehouse, or half of it anyway. The capacity is about 40. And I'll start processing things about 7 p.m. It's free. I think there's a little bar in there, and you can get some drinks if you want. You can hang out. There's chairs and couches and stuff like that. It's mainly going to be me and my apps processing. Perhaps if the weird little instrument that I ordered from Norway shows up by then, I might do a little demo on that. We'll see. And I might have a guest too. We'll see how that goes here. But anyway, I want to talk about how I got back into this at my advanced age, right? So I'll just give you the rundown here on this. So in April, I saw Terry Chambers and EXTC play there, and I'd never been there before. I was surprised that Terry Chambers was out playing music. He was such a great drummer for XTC, and he left after they quit touring. And he moved to Australia for a long time and then moved back to England after he got divorced, did some stuff with Colin, the bass player, and then Colin just kind of wanted to retire. Andy's been retired forever, living in his shed. And I thought, well, here's kind of my last chance to see one member of XTC in my life. And he was great. He's almost 70, still plays the drums great. The other guys he had playing with them, pros, fantastic, great interpretations. There's maybe 120 people there. It's kind of, come on. Can't we pack the place, But before we went in there, stopped by next door, and they had just opened the Annex. It was like the first or second night the Annex had been opened, and nobody was playing in there. And I went in there, and I was like, what is this, right? What is this little, it's like a little performance space for smaller, local, intimate, that sort of thing. And I was kind of like, well, what? Immediately it struck me. I was like, this seems like the right kind of place to try to do something again. I moved back to the Des Moines area in 2022. I'd lived in eastern Iowa for 25 years. Cedar Rapids and just north of Iowa City. And yeah, I did stuff over there. Where did I play? I played CSPS, the Matic Building, the Cherry Building, Emerald Isle, the World Theater, Englert, Yacht Club, out on the Ped Mall, out behind people's houses. We had a good time, but it just I couldn't find a good venue there for everything. It's just like things would change or whatever, and like the Englert there when they were rehabbing the place and raising money for it. We're gonna have local groups and people can rent it and everything like that. And then of course after they opened up, it was all bait and switch. It was like no, it's gonna cost thousands of dollars to rent the stage just for a couple of what do you So stuff like that becomes all about the money. And for me, it's not really about the money. It's just about going out, having fun, trying to bring some people in, and having a good experience, that sort of thing. So that's what I wanted to be able to do at XBK. And anyway, I got in touch with the guy who books the place, sent him, one of my disco links with all my, kind of 10 songs, an example of what I sound like. And then, of course, you can always look at my website and see how weird I am and everything. And for some reason, they're like, yeah, wow, we have, it's like, Ambient is such a kind of a rare bird anyway. So, pick a date. And so picked a date, or they picked the date for me. I can't remember what it was. Any time in July, right? And so they picked this date, and I think that's fine. I'll work towards it, And, at first I thought I was going to have merch there. I was like, I'll bring some merch or whatever. And And then I realized, it's a free gig. It's the first in a long time. I mean, there'll be some people there that know me, have known me for a long period of time. But, a lot of people are going to be wandering in for the concert, the main concert next door. So really kind of what I ought to do with this is make it an opportunity. And so I decided not to bring merch. And instead, I'm going to bring, I made physical media swag. So I made CDRs. I made some mistake CDRs. I haven't burned a CD in so long. So I made some mistakes, and those can only be ripped in a computer, and those are designated separately. And then I made about 20 CDRs that can be, played in a CD player, played in your car if your car still has a CD player. And I tried to make a cassette. It sounded garbage. It just did not sound very good. And so we're not going to do that. Yeah, so I have a bunch of stuff there. I've got some books that I might give away. I've got some original art that I might give away. I worked on visuals because they have a projector there. So I got a bunch of my paintings that have been scanned and artwork and put those into kind of like an MP4 file and just gentle transition. So those should be playing. I got a weird kind of psychedelic light bulb type of thing that I'm going to try to bring. That'll be kind of fun. And to promote it, other than just their own promoting there, it's like, I've got to get out there and hustle too. I created a zine. So back in high school, I wrote, 5 or 6 issues of a homemade zine. It was like music reviews, movie reviews, that sort of thing. This is the sort of thing you do as a teenager. And I was like, who is trying to contact me here? Oh. Sorry about that. We'll edit that out, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe not. So anyway, I made a zine. And I snail mailed it out. Right? It's just a 2-pager. I got this great printer. I bought this great printer a couple years ago. It's an Epson ET3843 or something like that. Anyway, you can buy them at Walmart or whatever. And they're like $300 or something. And these, the tank fill, and that's great. And this thing has just been just a workhorse for me. It's got a scanner built in, and it's got feed scanner, and the print is pretty good on it. And it prints 2-sided and everything, and it'll scan to PDF and everything. And so I was like, I'm just going to make a zine that I can print, on 2 sides of a piece of paper and mail it out, right? I'm just going to mail it out to some places in town that I think might be interested in it. Art galleries, there's a New Age shop at the mall. What else is there? There's some churches that sort of deal in New Agey type of stuff, and they might be interested. Things like that, record stores. We have record stores here in Des Moines. Can you believe it? They're not all gone, right? And I sent one to Skylabs. You never know, right? Those guys might be interested. One of them, anyway. Who knows? We'll see. Or just letting them know, right? Like, just letting them know. Maybe they've got things to do or whatever, and they tell people. And then I included in there like a little card, a little sticker, and, who knows who may see it, right? And didn't send anything to the media. Didn't do any emails. Didn't buy any ads. Nothing like that. And I just wanted to keep it kind of for those who are in the know. Because what I'd like to do down the road is I'd like to either make it like a recurring thing or make it something a little bit bigger. I've always kind of wanted to do one of those shows where people can bring like a yoga mat or something, sleeping bag, and just kind of like just lay down and just enjoy the show. That might not be good for drink sales or anything like that, but it's not really like a concert or a show or anything like that. It's almost kind of like a DJ set. I mean, I've got my project files, and then I'll be, live manipulating them with my effects boxes and everything like that. So it's bringing the studio into the live space and then using that studio as the instrument. It's a little weird. It's not like I'm playing a guitar or anything like that. I can't really play instruments, but anyway, so that's what I did. That's what I've done so far. And I'll show up on Saturday, and they said, well, you got to play at least an hour. And I said, I'll do three and a half hours if you want me to. I'll be up there. And so, yeah. And I just don't want to do ambient in the future too. I'd love to do some like beats, rhythmic type gigs in the future. So, I might show up there as somebody else, just, I don't know, fill in the blanks. Maybe there's other places in the area, in town, where I could do that sort of thing. Just every now and then. It's not to make money, not for fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I just, at my age here, I'm 58, and it's just like, I just want to have fun, man. I just want to go out and enjoy life. I don't want to worry about all the stupid stuff like on the news or on social media or anything like that. I want to completely avoid that. Now, if you want to come, show up, and look at your phone and be bored and all that sort of and talk, you can do that. It's perfectly okay. It's such a small space anyway. Nobody's paying anything. I'm just happy to be able to provide that kind of sonic wallpaper and get everybody together, in at least a space, and get to hear some of the sounds and vibrations and visuals and just go out for an evening and have a little fun in it. It doesn't involve sports or an expensive bill, right? It's like we all need a little bit of a break from that. Why not, What's wrong with, why does everything have to be about the money or the dollar or anything like that? I'm perfectly happy to work for free. I can afford to. It's not a big deal, And anyway, I've been having fun with it. I've been doing rehearsals and just having a great time. I've been recording all my rehearsals. That kind of pushes the music in slightly different directions, gives me new ideas, and I'm absolutely thrilled. And before I finish here, just to let you know, if you've made it this far, I did record one of my rehearsals last week, and it's out on Bandcamp. I'll try to have a link in the description. It's called Rehearsals for the Annex, and it's a 58-minute track. All I did was edit it on both ends a little bit. It's not exactly how the gig is going to sound, but it's going to be in the ballpark. So if you can't make the gig, or if you're not in the Des Moines area, whatever, you can download it for free. That's the great thing about Bandcamp. For free, or if you want to throw some money my way, that's fine too. So Rehearsals for the Annex, you go to markrushton.bandcamp.com, and you can find it and download it and save it to your Bandcamp profile. I've been a big user and big promoter of Bandcamp for 15 or 16 years, something like that. Who knows, it may go out on the streamers eventually, but we really don't have to worry about that. And I got more music coming out here in the near future. And so I probably will have a new podcast after the beginning of August, just because I got stuff to promote. Fantastic new album coming out that I collaborated with another musician. And we're doing kind of minimal melodic piano and ambient. It is, when I listen to this, it's overwhelming. It is truly it is so good. It's so good, but that's for the next podcast. Anyway, Mark Rushton, Ambient Rushton Podcast. I just want to tell everybody who may listen only via the podcast what's going on, what's happening with me. And if you're not signed up for my mailing list, it's at markrushton.com. I put out a free post every week on Substack. I've been doing it for almost 3 years. It's great. It's got art and music recommendations. It's got my little sarcastic humor. I'm starting to get into the old world architecture type of thing. I talk about technology and limitations. Always have a musical recommendation on there. And it's lots of different stuff. Sometimes it's classical, sometimes it's country, sometimes it's surf, sometimes it's electronic. Last week it was metal. All right, one take, got her done. Thank you for listening, and hopefully I see you Saturday. Bye.